CNBC TV 18 Weekender.
Mr. Ahuja, I wanted to ask you a rapid fire. That's how we normally end the show. But before I come to that, there are a lot of small finance banks who will want to know the mantra of growth. And their biggest challenge is getting deposits. Now, how do you make a person part with his cash and give it to some slightly less known entity?
It is the biggest challenge in building a bank. The mantra is segmentation. Like I said, service dimension is still critical, and it is still the one dimension where the bank's second is we have used differential pricing to some extent as a trigger. Third is the segmentation aspects where we have identified segments, for instance,
that are underserved.
So I will tell you,
geographically underserved?
Not necessarily. As an example, where is the diplomatic segment, the trusts, associations, mission accounts, as an example.
That's one, yes.
So FI, we have 54 embassy accounts with us. More than any bank. And I'm not saying any other small bank. So we have created branches within the diplomatic enclave of Delhi.
All right.
You understand? We have a force that goes and covers Swiss embassy, UAE.
Your father advised you? He's a IAS man, isn't it?
No.
Did that advice come from him?
No. He gives me wisdom how to stay grounded and how to look after people.
Okay, now for the rapid fire. If not a banker, then?
A politician.
Oh, really? Good. I thought you would say IAS officer.
No.
One regret.
One regret is that in my younger days, I used to be very inhibited.
Oh, really?
Yes. Although I have over time shed my inhibitions.
It's very difficult to believe that now.
No, it was absolutely true. Very introverted.
Well, just a word of advice for the new generation. Not necessarily next-gen banks, but the new generation.
So I think what is critical is that because everything is available to them on their fingertips, there is this tendency to lose the big focus sometimes. If everybody wants to be successful, and if you want to be successful, there are no shortcuts in life.
Okay, that's the next big advice. If you were 17 and you had to give yourself advice, what was that one advice which you would have wanted when you were 17?
So it relates to what I said earlier. Because I was inhibited, I thought in terms of, and I had the legacy of working in a service family. For several generations, my family has been in service of the government in one form or the other. So one had that very limited way of thinking about the world. It doesn't have to be. Now, fortunately, our children are much luckier. I wish I had understood this and somebody had told me this nicely when I was 17. Maybe I would become an entrepreneur at 35.
A final question. What is the legacy that you would love to leave behind?
Look, of having impacted lives of people. Honestly, the business model at RBL Bank, our foray into inclusion was not just mere business model. It was with a very clear professional and personal intent to impact thousands and millions of lives. Second, for my people, I had said this 5 years ago in my speech to the staff, that by 2020, we will create 5,000 millionaire shareholder employees of the bank. And we are well on the path of creating that. When the IPO happened, why it was such a great moment was that it gave me this feeling now it will become a reality.
Well, Mr. Ahuja, he told us earlier that his inspiration was to create an Infosys or an HDFC bank. From the way RBL Bank has progressed, it looks like probably 10 years down the line, another entrepreneur will say, I want to be an RBL banker. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Latha. Very kind of you.
CNBC TV 18 Weekender.